Hi, my name is Chloe Brunskill. Today I'm presenting research on counterfactual imagination as a source of memory distortion. A common source of memory error is believing our imagination to be a real episodic memory. For example, we might believe that we've turned the oven off when in reality we only thought about this action. However, there is very little existing research investigating how imagination can affect our existing memory traces, which is therefore the aim of our research. Our paradigm uses real object action interactions as we think it's really important to replicate how we interact with the world within the lab. We also use EEG to understand the retrieval processes involved when trying to remember a true memory that has an association with a competing imagined event. This experiment was split across 2 sessions. In the first session, participants enacted 120 different actions using everyday objects. 1 week later, we gave them an imagination task, in which we showed them photos of 80 of the original objects from the first session. For 40 of these objects, we showed them the same action they had enacted, so we called this the rehearse condition, as they just had to mentally rehearse the action they had enacted, whereas for a different 40 objects, they were now shown a counterfactual action, and so this is the imagination condition. The final 40 objects were not included in this task, and so were treated as a baseline condition. We then tested participants' memory for these actions as we showed them pictures of the objects and now asked them to recall what it was they had enacted in the previous session 1 week previously. In this cued recall test, we found that performance in the imagination condition was significantly lower than performance in the baseline condition, and so we concluded that counterfactual imagination distorts memory more so than regular forgetting and decay of memory over time. We also found significant ERP results using cluster-based permutation tests. In the first second of the epoch, we saw a positivity related to the familiarity of the rehearsed and the imagined conditions relative to the less familiar baseline condition. In the later part of the epoch, we identified frontal ERP slow drifts, which are typically associated with cognitive control mechanisms. These slow drifts appeared to be earliest and largest for the baseline condition, but are also visible in the imagination condition. Therefore, we suggest that ERP effects are associated with task difficulty. In the baseline condition, this difficulty was due to the fact that the actions hadn't been rehearsed since the encoding phase, whilst in the imagination condition, this difficulty was due to a competing memory. To conclude, in the study, we used real actions with real objects to replicate how we encode memories in real life. And therefore, we were able to find novel evidence that counterfactual imagination impairs memories, even when we can expect these original memories to be really strong. Using EEG, we also found novel evidence of the retrieval processes that are engaged during conflict between imagination and true memories.